Hey, what's going on, everybody here at YouTube? It's your boy King Gabe here, and just saw Chippendale, the Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie. Oh my goodness, where do I begin? And they put a lot into this movie. I'm just gonna say this. Also, spoilers, major spoilers. Yeah, so yeah, if you hadn't seen it yet, you don't want it, and you want to see it for yourself before hearing this, go check it out. I'll just sit here and wait and play my DS while I'm waiting on you. Okay, but seriously, little joke from Dale. Was it Dale? Yeah, Dale was definitely the one in the red there. Oh, I know Chip was. Excuse me. Yeah, Chip was definitely the one that always dressed like Indiana Jones. Yeah, this was actually like I say, this was a really good movie. Speaking of spoilers, I'm really surprised that people like the Black Nerd, Angry Nerd, Andre, and Double Toasted put up reviews for this Thursday night. Okay, this is not a movie that's in theaters. This is on the Disney streaming service, and I saw it. I saw their videos up that Thursday. This is today. I mean, this is Friday that I'm recording this. It's probably gonna be probably won't be Friday by the time you see this. You'll probably be like a few days be them past from now when you're seeing. Cause have to get it uploaded with a few other videos there, but yeah, I was like, but yeah, Thursday night, I was like, okay, y'all got these reviews up. I mean, how could you get an early screening to something that's not even in the theater? It's just on the streaming platform. And I checked Disney Plus, it was not available. And I mean, it's available now because it's the first day of its release, which is, of course, Friday, May 20th. But it was not available Thursday, May 19th. So how in the world did you guys see this movie this early when Disney Plus did not have it available? If any of y'all know if any of y'all follow Double Toasted or Black Nerd, or if they're watching this, please let me know how y'all got early showings like for a streaming movie. Please let me know. I just want to know, because I was trying to figure that out. Maybe I might need to call Chip and Dale to solve the mystery. We're gonna solve the mystery of the early screenings. So, anywho, let's get into the movie. Okay, so yeah, but I'm not. And just to clear, I'm not mad at them or anything. Though. I want y'all to think I'm, like I'm gonna say, come after. I'm not mad at you guys. I just want to know how y'all did that. Is all. Okay. So now we got that cleared up. So the movie. This is what I saw. Going off memory. No notes. Yes, and I do, and I watched it on my laptop, obviously. Yeah, like that. Nothing on the screen showing any information of the movie. I done closed it out. Nothing on my phone. All right, so anywho, so the movie started off pretty much in the 80s, of course. When that and a lot of the Disney Afternoon shows started. Disney Afternoon, they started off with shows like it had some other shows too, but some of the well-known, like what the nostalgia critic mentioned in his Disney Afternoon review, you had like Gummy Bears, then of course DuckTales, the classic, So they would definitely started with the 80s because DuckTales was a huge 80s cartoon. Then of course after that Chip and Dale was the next thing that was introduced, next major creation that was introduced after DuckTales. Then you had Tailspin and then Darkwing Duck. Goof Troop and Bunkers and all Bunkers um, and of course stuff like Aladdin, Timon and Pumbaa, and so on and so on. Um, so anyway, yeah. So Chip and Dale, yeah, definitely was '80s. Because like I said, Darkwing Duck started right at the beginning of the '90s. So yeah, definitely was '80s. In the movie, they start off Chip and Dale while they're in the third grade. The two of them meet each other at school. This was, and what's really interesting about this, they pretty much like remember in the trailer, it's like we were dancing Roger Rabbit with Roger Rabbit. They pretty much do Roger Rabbit in this movie. The tunes exist with real people. I mean, the tunes are just like regular folk, just like I am, just like I'm sitting here in front of you. The tunes are, and also other forms of animation, like you saw with that Beowulf thing that Seth Rogen was playing. Look in my eyes, looking right at you. Are you talking to us? Yes, I am talking to you. Cause it looks like you're talking to that billboard. This is me looking at you. Yeah. So yeah, you had all. So yeah, apparently this. So much like Roger Rabbit, yeah, they had tunes existing with the real people, and they took it a step further by also including other animations. Like you had anime in there, like the trailer showed like the crowd where they had the anime girl had the closed eyes with the anime look. CGI animation was in here. Now, of course, when the movie started with, being in the 80s, it only started with pretty much just your basic 2D animation kind of tunes there. Because, I guess a lot of the other stuff didn't come until later. Well, you had some other, I know you did have stuff like stop motion with claymation, stuff like that, that the cop that we see later in the movie investigating, the mystery that they're trying to solve and everything. Boy, that's a surprise about the cop. Once again, spoilers. So yeah, okay. Well, because trust me, you're gonna like I already mentioned it earlier, but yeah, like I say, it's gonna be a major spoiler there. So what happened? What happens? Okay, going in order here. So the Chip and Dale, they meet each other. Apparently Dale is not. A lot of the kids seem like they give him this awkward silence when he introduces himself in class. He tries to do a joke, like his eye has been poked out by a pencil, and it scares a lot of the kids. Even the teacher. The teacher falls out of the window. Also, the teacher looked like one of the animated cows from the Mickey Mouse cartoons. I'm just wondering if that teacher could possibly been in a relationship with Goofy. Is this Max's mother here? And you never know. It could be. I would assume, because I know that a lot of people, a lot of people like myself wonder who Max's mother was and what his mother was like. Seeing the Goofy movie, stuff like that. And then you look back at old Goofy cartoons and you kind of see, his supposed wife, but never see her face or anything, but she looked human. But then you have other iterations where they're actually, you actually see another female with Goofy that looks similar to him. One thing they say, Goof, and then people wonder what kind of animal Goofy is. I'm saying he's probably a bull. He looks similar to Pluto, like he is a dog, but I think he's actually a steer or a bull, and so that would make his anthropomorphic wife probably a cow or something like that. So anyway, the teacher falls out of the window. So then it's lunchtime, and this is where Chip and Dale really start to bond. And then they're narrating this part of the movie. Say from there, they really were tight, best buddies. Went through high school and everything. And when they got out of high school, they went to Hollywood together, where they tried to get a break, get a big break in the movies and stuff like that, and they started off with small roles. They even show a clip of Chip and Dale in Full House. Like, what? You're as extras in Full House. You even get to see, you even saw a one scene shot of the Olsen twins, or at least Ultimate Battle. Phaelus had it. I just noticed a Patreon update. Phaelus got a. Bring it up again. Phaelus published a new post, Transformers: The Ultimate Battle. Okay, might have to get time. Might have to check that out there. Though any of y'all watching this, follow Phaelus. If y'all support him on Patreon, yeah, definitely go check that out. See what it's like after you see this though. So anywho, so yeah, that so they got all these small, and then eventually they get a major hit, and Chip and Dale is born. They got their own TV show now. Chip and Dale, Rescue Ranger, Chip and Dale when there's danger. And for the show, they actually, matter of fact, they even do this before they even get their own show. They start getting some voices together of how they're gonna sound, for auditioning for different things before they even get the show. And that's how you get the sped up voices. I'm Chip and I'm Dale. So yeah, so that actually was pretty neat. Okay, they sped up our voices for the thing. Yeah, so that's a cool little nod to that, since they're doing this like the Roger Rabbit style, they're actors type of thing. Like I say, it's not, and I will admit, this is not exactly the kind of way I would expect a Chip and Dale movie to be written. But I actually but as you can tell, as I'm talking about it, I actually enjoy what I saw here, and it's definitely some heart put into this movie. So they got the show, they would dance with Roger Rabbit with Roger Rabbit. The laugh and stuff. Got that shot of MC Scat Cat. I know you probably heard people like Black Nerd point that out when he reviewed the trailer and was pointing out different stuff about the trailer. So then you got Monterey Jack, Gadget, and Zipper. All of them are in there. There's a little something about Zipper you're gonna find out in this movie. That's pretty cool. But anyway, so they're all together. They celebrating cheese. And then, this is what made everybody break off, because at some point they gotta have this break off there, and before everybody splits up and everything. So what made them break off is the fact Dale actually wanted to do a spin-off show with him as the star, Double O Dale. Now, does that sound familiar to any of you guys? Anything? Does that sound like anything familiar you probably have heard from another show? If you don't know, this is first thing came to my mind: DuckTales, Double O Duck. You see, in DuckTales, they had an episode. And this was in the early 80s DuckTales, where they had an episode called Double O Duck. And Launchpad was this was kind of a starring episode, one of a Launchpad focused episode, where it was like detectives and everything. So the people behind DuckTales, they wanted to make something off of that episode based on the episode. It's like, we could do a spinoff for this character, for the whole Double O Duck character. But what happened was they got a little skeptic that with the Double O name, that they might get sued, because you got like Double O, James Bond, stuff like that. They felt that we might not want to, because Double O is such Double O might get us in a little trouble. So what they did, they took because they had some ideas for it first, but they took all those ideas and changed it to the superhero we all know as Darkwing Duck. So, now you know how. So, if you didn't know, that's how Darkwing Duck got born. So, yeah, Double O Dale. And they also did the Double O reference in the 2017 DuckTales when, that game where they introduced Steelbeak in there. And, ironically, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers got snuck into that episode, even though the people the people behind 2017 DuckTales told the animators do not put Chip and Dale in the movie, and they snuck them in there. That's one thing Chip said in this movie, about taking dares. The animators took a dare there, so ironic, isn't it? So yeah, Double O Dale is almost like a callback to both DuckTales series there. So yeah, apparently this doesn't get off the ground, and yeah, pretty much like I said, with the actual ideal that they had back in the 80s, but changed it to Darkwing Duck. So they took that and made it into something in the movie, made a pretty good reference in the movie. Chip was not too happy about this, and thus, it failed after the pilot episode, and this also kind of caused the downfall of Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, and everybody just sort of broke off and did their own thing, because now, the show's been canceled and everything. And so we now go to many years later here in present day, and Dale's, he's at, sort of makes me think of, with the Power Rangers, the actors like Jason David Frank and all them when they be at the Comic-Cons for the show. Power Rangers way back in the 90s, and now a lot of the actors, are appearing at Comic-Cons and stuff like that, interacting with the fan. Hey, sorry about that, Dad. Pick up the phone there. as one of the scenes in the movie was like, I should probably answer this. No, don't you pick up the phone. I really should answer this. It's my agent. Don't you pick up the... I ain't gotta do it. Don't you? Hello, this is Dale. Ironic. Ironic, that's what they say about comedy. It's all about the timing. So... timing on. No, that probably don't make no sense, but anywho, so yeah, now we get just like what I mentioned, how like actors like Jason David Frank and the others that play the Power Rangers, Austin St. John, all them making appearances at cons and stuff like that. So now we get this from Dale, present day, he's making appearances at con. We also see other old cartoon characters like Baloo from Tailspin having major con. And turns out I thought Dale was like really big, like the con was, like he really was the spotlight of the Comic-Con he was at. Turns out Baloo was kind of a bigger attention grabber. Yet Dale wasn't really getting much attention like I thought he was there. So also he lived with his mama. And this is something I actually found out later in the movie. He answered the phone. It was his mama on the phone. He was like, "Oh, agents, they're weird, aren't they?" Yes. Spaghetti sounds fine, Mom. Still living it. As Medea said about one guy, Cora thought she was dating. Is like, who? Herbert? Say Herbert. Child, nah, ain't nothing going on there. 85, still living with his mama. What I want to do with a scrub anyway? There's a little bit more to that dialogue. It's probably better you actually look at the movie there. Yeah, kind of try. As Woody say, not exactly kid friendly, but as for the adults, yeah, it'll be pretty funny. Yeah, check out I Can Do Better By Myself by Tyler Perry. Yeah, anywho, so yeah, Dale's not quite as big at the Comic-Con. He's getting a little attention, you know. He do have some fans, but it's just not major big, you know. He's he's in the CGI form, you know. Trailer mentioned that he had the CGI surgery. It happens. So then I get in order to make more Comic-Con appearances and stuff. There's even an appearance. It's best that I'm gonna bring up a picture of a very special cameo that made his way, and he's in more, and he's not just in one scene of the movie. You see him pop up you're gonna see him pop up many times in this movie. Oh dear. Let's see. I can get a good shot of him there. Let's see. Of course he's confirmed. I just saw him in there. Here we go. Yes, Ugly Sonic is in this movie. He's at the Comic-Con with Dale. He's in a booth right next to him. He even talks about, like, you know, a lot of stuff that we didn't like about that Sonic, you know, why we wanted them, you know, to redesign Sonic and everything. They're like, yeah, we know you didn't like that Sonic, so we're gonna make some jokes. Well, we're gonna make some jokes on him there. It was my human teeth. Yes, right here. I was like, wow, Disney, they went there. But I'm glad you did. Anywho, gotta give Mickey credit for taking that dare. Oh, yeah, you didn't think the way that people be making fun of stuff that we do, you don't think we're gonna do this? You don't think we're gonna make fun of stuff from other studios? So yeah, you got Ugly Sonic there. Chip actually, like the trade say, you know, he's selling insurance. You know, he actually has an actual domestic dog in his apartment, a real domestic dog in his house, not anthropomorphic, named Millie, that he actually feeds and everything. Yeah. And then he gets this call. Turns out now one thing I think he did realize before the movie came out. I think first time I was looking at Black Nerd's reviews of the trailer, like, you know, him giving his, you know, theory and pointing out the Easter eggs and stuff. At one point, and Double Toasted may have mentioned about this. One point they were thinking that Gadget was gonna go missing. Oh, Black Nerd, yeah. Black Nerd thought that Gadget was gonna be missing, and that one thing he mentioned that there was actually a lot of you probably don't know this, but in real life, not in the show, in real life, there was I don't know, I forgot where he said it was, but there was a cult somewhere that a Gadget cult. People were pretty much doing pretty much like what you see in cults for Gadget. That existed somewhere. And ironically, you know, one of the episodes of Chip and Dale involves the Coca-Cola cult. The Coca-Cola. Yeah, so that happened. Don't know why or how, but it happened. So first thing, you know, he thought maybe Disney knew about, probably had, you know, found out about this over time, and maybe for this movie, Gadget was gonna be the one they were gonna go rescue. Turns out that's not the case, and later, he did find out. You know, well, actually, no, he didn't find out, but he did after looking at, you know, another trailer when they dropped another trailer before the movie came out. He figured that maybe it wasn't going to be Gadget they had to rescue. Maybe it was going to be Monterey Jack. And turns out it was Monterey Jack. Yep, he was the one that was in need of rescuing. He calls Chip. Chip comes over to his place, and turns out Monterey Jack owes some money to a gang, a gang that he's gotten money from, and yeah, they coming for him. He's in debt with this gang. Um, Dale shows up there too because he called both of them for help. Chip just leaves out of there, like, okay, if something happened, just, yeah, you know where to find us, because excuse me, because Chip, he's kind of still angry with Dale about the Double O Dale thing there. Then so eventually Monterey Jack goes missing. And also, it's announced that Flounder's missing too, and several other tunes there. As they showed that in the trailer, like Flounder got taken away. So Monterey Jack, he's been kidnapped. Turns out, the kidnapping is being done by this group. I think the Uncanny Valley, or they called it something else there, but Valley was in the name. And the reason they were being kidnapped was they were changing their appearance in order to create bootleg movies. You remember seeing in the bargain bin at dollar stores and stuff like that, you see like, say, a copy of Cinderella, but it's not the Disney one. Disney know what's going on out there, yeah. They know what's going on, and they will reference you. They know the mouse is watching. Think we don't see it, huh? That's what's going on. So Chip and Dale are called by the detectives and the police to one of the agents or detectives. She's a female cop, Ellie, and she asks this, like, well, maybe, since you guys know Monterey Jack, and y'all, you really be tight, y'all maybe could help us find some things, because I'm really not supposed to be telling you about this, but see, there's some things kind of going on with the police as well. We kind of limited to where we can go and stuff. And also, she even mentions that the police don't really, that the higher ups don't really trust her, because she had got a bad tip on a case once and ended up getting them in trouble with Nick Jr. Wow. So I guess you kind of could say maybe she's on kind of a semi probation or something, like, or maybe she's at risk of being on probation. What they do, like, some jobs some jobs have that whole thing. A lot of jobs have that, when something happens with the employer, ends up, depending on what it is, they end up getting put on probation and they're at risk of losing their job. So yeah, so that's going on. And of course, the boss of the agency is that Gumby character that was shown in the trailer, played by J.K. Simmons. So he done went from Jameson to a putty now, and we all know. I think this is there's a superhero show that he plays in too. Then also he was Commissioner Gordon in the Justice League movie, both the Joss Whedon one that was okay, and then again when they reshot scenes for the Zack Snyder version to make it better. So yeah, we got that. And so Chip and Dale, they investigate into it. Dale's like, oh, we're back now. We're the rescue rangers again. Chip's like, no, we're just finding information to turn to the police so they can find the case and get Monterey Jack out of this. So they're looking around for clues. It starts off, they're looking for Stinky Pete. And you're gonna be, and you might just from me saying Stinky Pete, you might be figuring out who this is probably gonna lead to, even if you have you probably maybe when you were watching the movie, you probably were figuring out who that was gonna lead to. So what happens is they look down. Was it they go into this shop where Monterey Jack got this stinky cheese from, and it leads them to a secret location of the shop, sort of like that secret room in the meat shop that what's his name had in Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. And what happened when they get there, they meet up with one of these Sesame Street like puppets. Yep, they got Muppets in here. So he tells him about Stinky Pete. He takes him to him, tied up, of course, because this is kind of kind of on the down low, like kind of one of those little down low operations there. So they get to this alleyway, and then of course, just like in the trailer, they see the area is called Uncanny Valley. He's like, remember that animation that looked real but sort of offsetting? Well, this is where they dump some of the characters that they don't have use for anymore. Yeah, then you see like the Cats from the Cats movie, the recent reboot movie that a lot of people gave negative reviews on. Two of them fighting in the alley. Then, of course, Seth Rogen shows up. Look at me, looking right at you. Yeah, I get that joke. He brings him inside the building. And, of course, Stinky Pete is actually Peter Pan. Yes, Peter Pan is the big bad villain for this movie. Sort of like the fairy godmother for Shrek. Except, one big difference, in Shrek, a lot of those characters, like the fairy godmother and all that, were literal parody versions of the original fairy tale creatures that they were representing. It was pretty much a parody movie. This, I guess you could kind of say it's a parody, but no, this is the actual Peter Pan from the Disney movie, in a movie that's actually being produced by Disney, because Chip and Dale. But what it is, just like how Chip and Dale were actors, Peter Pan was an actor way back in the day. The Peter Pan movie. But then he started to age, and Disney just axed him off and made him depressed, and now, he looks the way he does in the movie. He done grew up and everything for real, because, again, he was an actor. So, I think that's sort of a reference to a lot of time when they be casting actors for movies like High School Musical and a lot of the shows and movies that involve having either kids or teenager like characters, and they be trying to keep them looking a certain way, especially like the movies, like Cheetah Girls. They have to keep them, make sure they still look like teenagers, even though like a couple of years be them passed between the movies. Or stuff, or like I say, High School Musical, they shot each of those movies back to back, one in 06, one in 07, and the big movie in the theaters in 08. So, and they had to keep these characters looking like teenagers in all three of those movies, even though some of them had already pretty much passed high school and they're like in their early 20s or something. Especially characters like Ashley Tisdale, and all that. And I think Monique, the one that played Taylor in that movie, I think she was like the oldest of the cast there. They really had to keep her looking like a teenager. Oh boy. So, yeah, I think that's what this was kind of a reference to. Turns, Peter Pan's the big baddie. He's actually been taking all these tunes like Monterey Jack and other Flounder and all them and making them into his bootleg movies. He tries to come after Chip and Dale, and I think the polar bear that he has working for him, I think that polar bear may be the Icy Bear. I'm assuming, I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if y'all know where that bear came from. But I I kept thinking that he was the bear from the Icy Cups, or or possibly the Coca-Cola bear. So yeah, he's either the Icy Bear or the Coca-Cola bear or something else. So yeah, Chip and Dale, they managed to escape. Then of course there's a so then they relayed the information that they have to Ellie at Chip's house, and then they figure that there's something that Peter has that they need to track where these bootlegs are at. So they managed to sneak back into the place where they were at. They get it, and there's a scene where they get caught by this snake, and the snake's like, "Hey, I'm a big fan of Chip and Dale. Do a rap." And Chip's like, "No, man, there ain't nothing more annoying than old cartoons coming back to rap." And then they end up having to do this rap to distract the snake while they get this thing from Peter Pan's locker. And so then after that, sorry about that. So after that, they get the item. They track where the bootlegs are being held. At. You have this whole wall of parts of the different tunes that they have taken off in order to remake the tunes into something else there for their bootleg movies. There's this big machine there. Chip and Dale, they accidentally end up inside it. Dale recognizes the machine. He's like, I think this is the machine that they use for my CGI surgery, but this one looks more violent there. Oh boy. And Chip ends up coming out there they managed to get out of there. They're still, in one piece and everything. Chip ends up getting a Snoopy ear added to him, which actually becomes useful in a scene of the movie. Because after they come out and the cops, they get the place, they get everybody, they ransack the place and everything. But turns out they don't feel like they've really won because the tunes are still missing. And after a while, they come to the revelation that there's something else that they're missing. And what they suspect is that the cops and stuff may be hiding something. And at first they think that it's Ellie because they smell Chip and Dale cologne all in the office and stuff, and they think maybe Ellie might be behind what's going on. But it's not Ellie. Turns out it's the very person that actually was obvious that it was J.K. Simmons as the Gumby knockoff. He's also working with Stinky Pete, Peter Pan, and the bad guys. And they're like, man, that was so cliche. It's like you would think of the first thing Chip and Dale thinking like, no, that'd be way too obvious. It's got to be someone that we wouldn't think it is. It turns out it's who they would think it was. Sort of like as Drac can say, it's a trap. I'm kind of surprised I didn't see any Kim Possible references in there, but anyway, so yeah, it turns out it's the J.K. Simmons putty, and Dale manages to get, they try to escape them once again. Dale manages to escape, that's right. Chip and Dale, they try to figure out first they figure out like, well, we gotta tell somebody outside the cops to try to really bust these guys. They go to Ugly Sonic. The Ugly Sonic, he claims that he worked on an FBI show. Lord have mercy. I think they like I said, they really went some places with this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, when you watch it, you don't know what's gonna happen each scene of this movie, and I like it. So turns out Peter and his crew, they find Chip and Dale because they're like, well, we let them get, because the first time they escaped, it's like, they're getting away. Shouldn't we go after them? Peter's like, no, I got another way to find them. takes out his phone and follows Dale on Facebook. Dadgummit. He used the Facebook for evil. And because Dale had been posting about himself being at the Comic-Con, Peter's like, we going to that Comic-Con. So, yeah, they come looking for them there. Chip and Dale, they have to run for their lives. And you pass by a lot of other references. You got, I think there's the part that they pass by a Voltron statue. Then they also pass, you get that scene when Seth Rogen sees Pumbaa from The Lion King. He's like, what are you looking at? Honestly, your soulless eyes. Seth Rogen making fun of himself as Seth Rogen. Wow. So then, without Dale knowing right away, Chip ends up getting bagged and taken away. And by the time Dale realizes he's too late, so he's like, well, I need to get some help. He gets caught. Ellie also gets captured because, like I say, the boss cop was in on this, and he actually has Ellie to call Dale so they can capture, so they can get Dale to come there to rescue Chip, and they can capture him. But she gives him a hint by naming her favorite episode, which really is a lesser known episode that involves, I think, like fish or something like that. But when she gives him that, it's actually a hint. The bad guys don't know this, but it's a hint, and it takes a while. But Dale figures out the code, and he goes over to get Gadget and Zipper in order to help him rescue Chip and Chip, Ellis, and the other Toons there. And this is the thing I found out about Zipper. Zipper never spoke in the show, but you hear Zipper speak here. Hey, I have a cool brother voice. Yeah, that's tight, man. It almost makes me 4 minutes. Strange. But yeah, it almost makes me think of what they did with with Wade in the Kim Possible movie, the Stitch in Time, had him played by Michael Clark Duncan. So then it turns out Zipper and Gadget are married and have kids, little baby flies and mice. Don't ask, because I guess if Donkey and Dragon could do it in Shrek, why not? Yeah, you get to see the Rescue Ranger plane. They fire Dale into the place, and he makes a big daring rescue on a rocket and everything. They get them out, and Peter gets zapped by that machine and turns into that mix match jumbo thing that they show in the trailer. Look like Fat Cat, Wreck-It Ralph, he got an Optimus Prime leg on him there that transforms and stuff, and he comes after them. But they eventually, and Ellis, she defeats the bad cop, of course, gets him all sliced up. Chip and Dale are able to get out of their situation by making these birds appear like they did in an episode that they did to distract the Fat Cat head on Peter. And then he's stopped by Ugly Sonic. Ugly Sonic comes to the rescue, but dressed up like an FBI agent. So that actually was a pretty cool twist there. So now bad guys are gone. They got all the Toons out. Monterey Jack is now safe. And they get rid of the Snoopy ear off of Chip, so he gets his regular ear back. Turns out Monterey Jack had got bootlegged into a Dumbo movie. So everybody's safe now. The Rescue Rangers, they're all back together. Big reunion kind of scene. And after that pretty much wraps up the movie there. So yeah, this was actually a pretty good movie there. I actually glad I saw this. If y'all hadn't seen it, definitely go check it out. It's definitely worth seeing. And hopefully once maybe later on, after I get Bubblina completed, Christina and I can look at it together and do a Royal Talk review of it sometime later. later after Bubblina's complete. There's a few other things that I think she's probably gonna want to do Royal Talk on to pick out, and then we'll probably get to Rescue Rangers much later down the road. If y'all like what you saw here, definitely like, give a special thanks contribution, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, buy some of our available comics, and definitely support us on Patreon, even if it's just $1 a month. And we will see y'all in the next video. Japan down, Rescue Ranger, Japan down. And they also end the movie with a remix. Oh, hey, I almost forgot. Wait, before you click off the video, for just one second, I forgot I forgot to mention this at the end of Chippendale at the end of the movie of the Chippendale movie. There is a cameo from Darkwing Duck. Oh yeah, and he's asking when his movie's gonna be made. Matter of fact, it's the Darkwing Duck from the '90s version, not the one from the rebooted 2017. You know, Jim Sterling or the new Drake Mallor. But no, this is the exact one from the '90s version. So I don't know if that means we're gonna get a. I don't know if that's a possibility of maybe like a Darkwing Duck movie coming out, or maybe it's a hint at what we're gonna see with the new Darkwing series. Maybe it's possible that the new Darkwing series might not be the Darkwing Duck that was featured in the 2017 DuckTales, but maybe a whole nother Darkwing, maybe like a sort of like a how to say it, maybe an updated version of the '90s Darkwing Duck, similar to what we saw with the Chippendale movie. Maybe that's what they're gonna do something like that. So who knows? Maybe but we'll have to see. But after seeing Chippendale, yeah, whether Darkwing continues from the DuckTales series or be something like this, I actually will be pretty okay with that. Long as it's good. Long as it's good like this movie was, and hopefully they make more movies like this one, because yeah, this movie was really good. So just wanted to throw that out there. Forgot to mention that. Like I said again, hey, we'll see you in the okay, I already said, like, subscribe, share, and all. So we'll see you in the next video.